Well, what didn't I see? Like, it's these events, the way that it's like a movie, right? You walk into this extremely lavish lifestyle, right? It's like a music video, it's like a movie. Everything is, it just looks like $1,000,000, right? It just is beautiful. There's champagne, there's beautiful women, there's beautiful men, there's the architecture of the building is just like, wow. Like, you're just like, oh my, you're just in awe of it all, right? Behind all of this is the craziness as well. So you're experiencing both sides. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time up until certain points of like each event and stuff. Because it is so amazing, and you do get to be in like, for example, you're right next to somebody you used to watch on television. Like, you're right there going, oh my God, like, this is, and you're like, this is insane. So you are in literal, I could just touch them if I wanted to. That's how close I was to these household names. And we were always amongst this kind of, people. We as models and as new talent, we were amongst these people who are very well established. And so there is an appeal to that. There is a feeling that you feel, wow, I'm accepted. I'm being, I don't know, you feel like you're one of the people, you're one of the crew, you're one of the crowd of fabulous people that you had imagined to be a part of. I mean, there is nothing in this world than Hollywood. Like, that is a whole different world. It is like eye-opening and surprising and exciting, but then it's also scary because you have no idea, why do these older men fancy me? I look like a 20-year-old, younger. I look much younger, actually, to be honest. And you think, like, for example, I would talk to, some of these rappers or athletes, and they'll be much older than me. And I would just be like, but why are they, I was very, I don't know, I don't think I was insecure, but I was just like, why do they like, I look like a girl, like a little girl. Like, what interest does this grown man have with me? And I would always question that, because all of the rappers that you see, all of the athletes, they love girls that they don't necessarily like them looking like older women. They like the young face, the nice body, this, I don't know. It's very difficult to explain. And I really want to make this point as well, which I've noticed a lot of people have said this to me. And I want to make this really clear. I really want to make a point that because I said I saw something and I didn't see something else does.
$50 Cent, known for his sharp tongue, is calling out celebrities who've distanced themselves from Diddy after his shocking arrest. Many of Diddy's old connections are now denying ties or staying silent as the scandal unfolds.
Tapping in with Puffy. I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sounded me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money. Did you see the video? I could find other things to do for money. Bro, I'm not sure I can say that for money. Like, somebody pushed
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like, it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20 mil, I can say it.
You still have the blackest face out. You still have to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah. Fuck you trying to get money right.
Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. The internet might come for you.
You say sweet love, sweet love.
Yeah, you gotta say make sweet love.
That's young buck breaking right there.
Make sweet love.
There's rules to rap beef now, bro.
Not
in your day.
Well, I'm saying like,
Thank you.
God,
That was
man.
good.
Why is your homeboy so close to you when you come out of that? Look like you guys just made sweet love. I'm gonna say sweet love instead of anything that says.
That's to me, that's better because they're gonna try to make it something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was smart. Like I didn't think about that. I say things to the borderline. Like I'm like, oh my God, you're in trouble.
You?
Like all the time.
Yeah.
Because I just say.
Nah, but you got
But I
close
think-
when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, Amika's in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not
Holy
Photoshop.
shit.
This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop it, man. You set that up. Look, you set that up. This dude, he's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
I honestly was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like you go, I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say. Like, girls, guys may say to a girl, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there.
they
Like,
found Kendrick and Wifey.
that's
You can't dress up Kendrick like that. Oh, you can't dress him up like that.
No, it's jokes.
That's like the white chicks movie, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was comedy. That was good.
Yeah, but that
You
was,
get away with Wifey.
that's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's
wore
true.
it in public.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. Though. It's a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because he was like, oh, no, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the wedding. I always say to myself,
It was someone's wedding.
it was Chris Lighty's wedding. It was in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this. And I looked at him like, yo. You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look, like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you don't wait. No, this was visible,
He
guys.
was in the hallway. We saw the video.
You see
We saw that video.
It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't give a fuck. Like you can tell that he was already.
Nah, New York is dope. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, but he didn't party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, they let that one go. Like I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was.
What did it feel like all these years? You being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long
They
time.
said you're a hater. They said
You're a
you're
hater.
crazy.
You do this, yeah. And now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. This whole shit is coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come.
Never one to hold back, 50 Cent has been exposing a surprising list of stars who are either staying quiet or trying to disappear. Let's dive into the drama, the accused, the accusers, and those caught in the chaos.
Something that you felt like you had to do while you were there, or was that more sort of hype about the event?
Playboy and Diddy parties, for me, my experience was slightly different, right? So when you're a Playboy bunny, it feels like what you're feeling amongst the situation. When you're there, you have to please the people that have paid thousands of pounds to be a part of these events because they're in the pool. Loads of drinking and drug taking.
Drugs freely offered to you?
Freely offered. Yeah, minutes as you arrive. Would you like some coke? Do you want some? I say no, and it's a big deal. Oh my God, why don't you do drugs? Why don't you take drugs? I'm like, because I don't do drugs. I never have. I don't really want to participate. You guys have fun, enjoy. And I would have to play it off. I would have to like kind of make it a funny situation to not make them feel uncomfortable. The moment I used to take my phone out, if I'm just texting a friend or whatever, they would be looking at me. They would be like, oh, what are you doing on the phone? Like, what are you doing? Like in a joking way. So
But there were cameras there.
there were CCTV cameras. There were
Cameras in the bed.
First up, Will Smith. Known for his clean image, Will's been linked to Diddy's infamous parties in memes circulating online. While he's denied any connection and says he's focused on personal growth, his silence about Diddy's charges has people asking questions. Coincidence or something more?
That found inconsistencies with the accuser's story.
You should always advocate for yourself.
It comes after our interview with a 38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Sean Diddy Combs and Sean Jay-Z when she was 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party. She says at the party, she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. That's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said, in remembering what happened 24 years ago. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, this incident didn't happen. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out.
Chloe Malas.
Then there's Justin Bieber, once seen as Diddy's protege. Suge Knight recently accused Diddy of manipulating Bieber, sparking speculation. Bieber's quiet retreat into family life has only fueled rumors. Has he stepped back for privacy or to avoid more drama?
Song of what might sound like Justin Bieber. Might sound are the key words because there is a good chance it is not real. Here's a little bit of it. Now, it went viral on social media after Sean Diddy Combs' arrest with lyrics alleging an experience at one of Diddy's parties. But here's the thing. In a day and age where AI is everywhere, there's no evidence that this is a real song. It's not on streaming platforms, not in Bieber's official catalog either. Instead, it has all the hallmarks of a deep fake. Let's bring in NBC News digital reporter Maya Eaglin. Maya, thanks so much for joining us. How long has this song been making the rounds, and how viral has it gotten?
So, Gotti, it originally came out in April of this year when we were seeing a lot of those accusations and videos around producer Sean Diddy Combs, but it's kind of recycled into the viral motion of things in the last few weeks, honestly, and that's because a lot of people are drawing comparisons to the lyrics and what Justin Bieber says he went through and what people around Justin Bieber says he went through. But as you mentioned, it sounds like Justin Bieber, but there's a lot of speculation on if it's AI or not. I reached out to Justin Bieber's team today, and they were not able to get back to us to confirm that or not. Gotti?
And Maya, is it possible to tell whether or not this is a fake song?
It's very, very tricky, but I reached out to a former Sony music producer, and he also created a company called Spy AI that works to try and determine AI's influence in products. His name's Steven Stahl. Take a listen to what he thinks about this track.
It'll never be 100% guaranteed, unfortunately, because the technology is consistently improving and changing. So we always have to basically catch up to the next greatest piece of technology. There's still some AI artifacts in the voice that I can hear. You know, AI music hasn't fully gotten to the point where it's entirely indistinguishable from human vocals. So I can hear the AI artifacts. You know, it's heavily tuned, heavily auto-tuned as well.
So Gotti, he's not completely convinced, but said there are definitely some clues as to why he thinks it's probably made with AI.
Wow, so he can kind of detect it just like some people are really good at spotting AI altered images. It's really fascinating that his ears work that way. How hard is it to make something like this if this is a deep fake?
I think it's getting easier and easier. Actually, Gotti, I know you've had a lot of experience with some of these softwares. So have I in my reporting. Steven actually made an example of how easy it is using this song, but changed the lyrics to talk about this very story that we're reporting on. So take a listen and listen closely to how he was able to do this. There are the NBC News report with Maya, where she's trying to determine if this song is real or AI. And he said he did it in 2 minutes.
I prefer that one much more than the other one, Maya.
Jamie Foxx, ever the entertainer, addressed the rumors with humor in his Netflix special, joking about baby oil and leaving Diddy's parties early. But even his jokes haven't stopped people from digging up old photos of him with Diddy, keeping the debates alive.
Good afternoon, Darla Miles, ABC7 New York. Thank you for this press conference and for the details. 2 questions. In context of this indictment and the information that was presented to the grand jury, are you able to clarify the number of victims? It's mentioned plural in the indictment, but can you specify the number of victims just for this particular indictment? And secondly, can you provide details about the alleged arson?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide either. The number of victims, you are correct. We are intentional in saying multiple. The details of the arson incident are limited to what we have in the indictment and also the detention letter that we filed, which contains more details than the indictment does at various points. But we don't have anything more beyond that. Next question.
Lynn Tran, CNN.
Are any of his accomplices or associates under investigation? And additionally, could he face any more charges?
So the investigation is ongoing. That means both as to him and to anyone else who we believe committed the crime with him. Next question.
Juliette Papa.
Hi, good morning from 1010 Witness. Any indication that some of the women or victims here were imprisoned in his residences? And did he have locations where he kept them? And were not allowed to leave? And also, he's indicted here, although there were searches and raids in LA, Miami. Why in New York?
Well, I'm biased. I'm the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York. I think that we have an outstanding track record of bringing some of the most impactful, sprawling, complex, difficult sex trafficking, human trafficking, labor trafficking, you name it. The Southern District of New York can do it, and so we're very proud of that. And so the scope and complexity of this investigation isn't something that we ran from. It's something that we embrace, and we will continue to do that. As to your question about whether he imprisoned anyone, all I can say is that, I mentioned this March 2016 incident where something was caught on video where a victim was attempting to flee, and there was violence that was associated with it.
Was that at the residence or
that was at a hotel.
Matthew Lee, Inner City Press.
Thanks a lot. Does your office intend to seek remand, or are you reaching a bail package? And if you're willing, how would you contrast this with the R. Kelly case in EDNY in terms of the elements? Thanks.
So we will be seeking detention. We have filed a letter laying out our reasoning for seeking.
Ashton Kutcher, who co-hosted one of Diddy's famous white parties, has denied any involvement in Diddy's alleged activities. He insists their relationship was purely professional, but resurfaced photos suggest they may have been closer than he claims.
I'm not going to be able to expand beyond what's in the letter, but it contains all of the reasoning, and it contains the law as well. There is a presumption of detention in a case like this, and we think that's warranted.
John Anise, New York Daily News.
Thank you. I was hoping to get some more detail about the searches of his residence, the guns, the cases of lubricant, and the videos. Where were they found amongst his residence? Were they all scattered around the houses in one place? I kind of wanted to just get a better picture of how that stuff was found.
Well, look, I think that some of the details that you're seeking are in the detention letter. So, for instance, some of the AR-15s, 2 of the 3 defaced AR-15s were found in his bedroom closet in Miami, broken down into parts along with magazines with ammunition loaded in them. So some of that detail is in the detention letter. Beyond that, I'm not going to be able to get into where other items were stored.
Ben Kochman, Post.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Your office was the office that had been prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein before he died in custody. I have not read your detention memo yet. It's the first thing I'm going to do after this ends. But does the memo address, or is your office concerned with Combs' safety in custody given what happened with Epstein?
So we are concerned with anyone's safety whenever they are detained prior to trial. It's part of our obligations to keep people safe as well. It's part of the criminal justice system. So, but I do not draw any sort of connection between Jeffrey Epstein's suicide and what may or may not happen to any other defendant while they are detained pre-trial. And of course, the decision whether to detain the defendant will be up to a judge. Our position is that pre-trial detention is warranted under the law and based on the facts of this case. And I'll leave it at that.
Are some of the prosecutors on this case some of the same prosecutors that had been handling that or that worked on the Maxwell case?
So I'm not going to get into the staffing. I will say that this team, this group of AUSAs, this incredible group has been working on this case around the clock, and they've had their hands full. Next question.
Gus Rosendale, NBC News.
Good morning, sir. Combs' attorney said that his client has been cooperative with investigators. He said that this morning. I was wondering if you would have a reaction to that.
Let me just say this. I think that generally,
Ice Cube has flat out denied attending Diddy's parties or being involved in any way. His clear and firm response has helped shield him from scrutiny. But in today's viral age, even a hint of association can cause lasting damage.
That the rapper and producer Sean Diddy he'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence. David Willis reports.
Among those present at the Manhattan courthouse, Sean Combs' 83-year-old mother, Janice, who earlier in the week sprang publicly to his defense.
Have you guys spoken to your father? Have you spoken to your father?
And other family members, including his twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah.
Christian, have you spoken to your father?
Hey, straight ahead, Joe, straight ahead.
One of hip-hop's biggest names, the man who shaped the sound and culture of an entire generation, has spent the last 3 weeks in jail. Raids by heavily armed agents on his homes in Miami and Los Angeles in March this year led to federal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. Combs, who is also facing a slew of civil lawsuits, has pleaded not guilty and blew kisses to the judge to impose a gag order banning prosecutors from leaking evidence in the case to the media. Sean Combs is due to stand trial in May of next year. Prosecutors have said further charges may follow, but he already faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life in jail. David Willis, BBC News, Los Angeles.
Hollywood's quick turn against Diddy is striking. Once a respected mogul, he now finds himself isolated. His arrest has not only revealed serious allegations, but also exposed how fragile celebrity alliances can be when the spotlight shifts.
Assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in the corridor of a hotel in 2016. Ms. Ventura made allegations of rape and physical abuse against him in a lawsuit that was settled last year. Combs is at the centre of several civil lawsuits accusing him of sex offences. This report from Emma Vardy has some distressing images.
Ventura previously brought a lawsuit against Sean Combs in relation to the incident in the video said to be at a Los Angeles hotel.
In March, his lawyers called it a witch hunt. Today, those lawyers said they no longer represent him. The video appears to corroborate one of the incidents described in Cassie Ventura's case. Her accusations and others against P. Diddy, a self-proclaimed bad boy, now part of a dramatic downfall for one of hip-hop's biggest names. Emma Vardy, BBC News, Los Angeles.
50 Cent's role adds even more intrigue. He's reportedly working on a documentary about the accusations against Diddy, aiming to uncover the truth. Known for stirring the pot, 50's latest project has fans and critics bracing for impact.
News to get to, a civil lawsuit has been filed against Jay-Z, saying the rapper Music Awards alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The victim says she was invited to an after party after being spotted by a limo driver and was then assaulted by both rappers. Jay-Z is calling this a blackmail attempt. He released a statement on social media responding to the lawsuit, and Texas attorney behind the legal action saying in part, these allegations are so heinous in nature, you have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I look forward to showing you just how.
These allegations aren't new. Rumors about Diddy's controversial parties have been around for years. His arrest confirmed suspicions, and as the trial approaches, the evidence could be damning. Diddy denies everything, but the fallout is far from over.
Bring in Myla Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura, working for Diddy for years and eventually becoming a for being here. This has been, for so many people, illuminating, infuriating, troubling, devastating. You can go down the list of things, but it's so difficult to speak about.
I know.
Being a witness of anything. Tell me how you must be feeling just knowing that this has even come to light.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010. And I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety and bringing her to my house. So that's kind of like what transpired from that night. And once she came out of the room, she was badly, beaten.
Oh my God. What did her physical appearance look like?
I mean, it was knots on her head, black eye, busted lip, but a lot of knots all over her head.
Did she go to the police at that point or anything?
No, we didn't know what to do at that point because, Puffy is a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. So I just, brought her to my house, and my friend who is a doctor, I called her, and thank God she was in town, because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really it was painful to see Cassie like that, because she's such a beautiful human being, and for a man to just hurt any sort of woman or child or animal, it doesn't matter. But Cass is a good friend of mine, and I just felt, I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe how she was feeling about having that happen? Did you get a sense that this was the first time?
It didn't feel like it, because it wasn't. It was almost like, I feel like she might have been embarrassed that.
This scandal raises bigger questions about Hollywood. Why did it take so long for these allegations to surface? Who was complicit, and who turned a blind eye? The industry's history of protecting its own is now under the microscope.
Horrific video from a hotel floor. When that video came out, what did it feel like knowing that had now been public?
No, I was devastated when I saw that video, because it was like I witnessed what could have happened in that room and more, So that was a hallway incident. Who knows what happened, in that room when I was outside of there. And I was devastated. Actually, I've been devastated.
The suit involving her specifically, but there are others, and there are sources that are telling CNN that the majority of the people currently suing Diddy are actually speaking to federal investigators, which indicates the Justice Department might be moving close to an indictment. So do you think that Cassie would testify against him if federal investigators asked her to or compelled her to?
I'm really not sure. Like I said, I can't speak for Cass, but I hope she does. I hope she does, because she's the only one that would know all the information that's gone on over the years. So,
Mila, why do you think? I mean, we've heard certainly, a lot of people in the industry condemn Diddy for what they saw on that video, but it hasn't been a universal outcry within the industry specifically. Why do you think that is?
Because it's a very small industry, and that we all know each other, and I feel like people are afraid to speak up about it. And the only reason why I am is because I'm a friend of Cass's, and I really care about her very much so. And I'm outraged and very, very heartbroken about how he's been treating her. It just it breaks my heart, and I just can't imagine a man treating a woman that way, and not just a woman, but a friend of mine that I've known since she was a teenager. So I've known Cassie before all of this. So it disgusts me.
I can only imagine, of all the women that you have worked with and people who are eager to be in the industry, what they are exposed to, how they could be exploited and abused in a variety of ways. And that's why the idea that not hearing so many more people speak up is very frustrating and hurtful for so many people.
It is frustrating and hurtful, even for me, because I watch, I know what goes on behind the scenes, and I just can't imagine why nobody's speaking up. I mean, everyone's just hush hush and quiet. I don't know, maybe they're scared. I mean, we've all been scared, so,
I hope this is the turning point, Mila Morales.
I think so.
I really hope it is. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I hope so.
For now, all eyes are on the celebrities distancing themselves. Justin Bieber has retreated into family life. Jamie Foxx is using humor, and others like Ashton Kutcher and Ice Cube are firmly denying involvement.
With Sean Diddy Coombs, our US correspondent Martha Kellner has the latest from Los Angeles. This civil suit was originally filed back in October against Sean Combs, better known as P. Diddy. It has now been amended to also include allegations against Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. In this civil suit, a woman says that when she was a 13-year-old girl back in the year 2000, that she attended an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards, during which she says she was raped by Jay-Z and P. Diddy. She says that Jay-Z removed her clothes, pinned her down and raped her while P. Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity watched on. She says she was then raped by P. Diddy as Jay-Z and this female celebrity watched on once again. Jay-Z has dismissed in a lengthy statement these claims as idiotic. He's also attacked the character and legitimacy of the lawyer who has brought these claims. In his statement, Jay-Z directly addresses that lawyer. He says, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit." The wife, which he refers to, is, of course, Beyoncé, whom he's been married to since 2008 and been in a relationship for much longer than that. As for P. Diddy, he's currently in prison in New York awaiting criminal charges for sex trafficking and racketeering. He faces more than 24 civil lawsuits. This is the first one that has named Jay.
Diddy's downfall is a cautionary tale of how quickly fame and power can crumble under serious allegations. As more names pop up on 50 Cent's list, the drama shows no signs of stopping.